This is what you should be doing with all of your Bitcoin right now. We're at the end of a 4-year cycle. The US just seized $3.6 billion of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is not actually a hedge against inflation. Stay tuned to the entire video while we dive into all these things and more. But before we do that, let's get into the verse of the day. All right, so we're going to be reading out of Proverbs 13, verse 11. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. All right, so that is from Proverbs 13, man. King Solomon is spitting some game. Don't look for the instant gratification wins, man. Look for the smaller plays that's going to grow exponentially, man, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get finessed. All right, so let's get straight into the video, man. Bitcoin has already approached its 4-year cycle top. We've already peaked at $69,000, and since then, we began to pull back. Most people might think, oh, it's a dip opportunity, let me buy the dip. No, what we're dealing with right now is Bitcoin topping. We have already topped, and Bitcoin has entered the bear cycle. So what that means is we're not hitting any more all-time highs, and we're going to start going into a crypto winter. This is not new information. This happens every 4 years. Let's take a look back to 2017. What we see at the end of 2017 is that we had a major run-up from November all the way to December 17th. December 17th marked the top of Bitcoin at $20,000. Most people during that time, they thought Bitcoin was going to keep going, hit $50,000, and then they can make 150% of their money in very short time. So what they did, a lot of people bought in at $15,000. You see, we pushed up to 17, then we had a pullback down to $15,000. Then we peaked all the way up to around $20,000. Then the next day, December 18th, we instantly dumped all the way down to 10,000. Bitcoin lost 50% of its value in only a week. So of course, people bought the bottom at 10,000. And then what did Bitcoin do? Due to all the buying pressure, it started to pull back. Pull back, hit that, people sold, dumped again, boom, back down to $11,000. We had one last major pullback. This is the pullback that made people think that Bitcoin was going to recover and keep going up. However, that is what we call a bull trap. All it was doing was pulling back to the 702 Fibonacci retracement level. As you can see, it's a perfect tap on the top of the Fibonacci 702 Fibonacci retracement level. Then it instantly began to dump and ultimately crashed all the way down to bottom out at $6,000 from the top of $20,000. That is a 69% pullback from its top. So what am I getting to? We are dealing with the exact same predicament in Bitcoin charts today. Bitcoin has pulled back 50% from its all-time high, and now we're seeing a retracement. But if we look back to 2017, what did it do? It pulled back and then it retraced with the trapping formation. It retraced all the way to the 702 retracement. So according to today's charting, that will put us around $50,000 to $55,000 where we're going to see a Bitcoin retracement. So I say all that to say that this time is not different. We're at the top of the 4-year cycle, so we're going to see Bitcoin crash. So that's not the only thing that's happening in the near term. We also have narratives like the fact that the US just seized $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. All right, so let's dive into what happened. So basically in 2016, there was a hack of certain Bitcoin wallets on the Bitfinex exchange. It was a little bit over 100,000 Bitcoins that was stolen from people's wallets. So that Bitcoin has been moved around in different darknet exchanges. It has been passed around for the past 6 years. With all that Bitcoin that the US is now holding will get placed back into the wallets of people that lost it. Just like a typical fraud case, you're going to get back what you lost. So some people, they're like, yay, the government's doing something good. It sounds great. But no, it is not great at all. What's going to happen is it's going to cause a massive supply shock in Bitcoin's price. You have to keep in mind, back in 2016, Bitcoin was under $1,000. So when these individuals get back the Bitcoin that they lost, that they would have had, they're going to be able to sell Bitcoin at a price that's 40 times what it was when they had it. What do you think those people are going to do with that free Bitcoin that they're now receiving 6 years later? They're going to instantly sell that Bitcoin to realize those gains. I know I would. So that in turn is going to cause a massive supply shock in the price of Bitcoin. It's going to instantly crash due to all the selling pressure that's going to be happening all at one time. Not only are we at the end of the 4-year cycle, but now we have an occurrence where we have a narrative to why this crash will happen. Look, man, just to put it out there, this is not financial advice. You know, I'm not a certified professional. However, I do want y'all to heed my warning, man, because Bitcoin will crash and it will crash hard. Another interesting fact about Bitcoin is that the narrative for holding it is that it's a store of value and that it hedges against inflation, kind of like gold. But what we're seeing today is that inflation is spiking at an all-time high, and we're seeing Bitcoin drop to an all-time low. So how does that work? That narrative has been cut and dry. It's not hedging inflation. I know a lot of people's counter arguments is that it's, you know, inflation is just kicking in. We got to see what the price does. And a lot of hopium is being pushed into the markets. But I am telling you all, although it's not financial advice, Bitcoin will crash to nearly $0. It's going to be a very catastrophic event because a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. I don't want that to happen to the viewers watching right now because y'all are smart. Y'all are thinking ahead. Y'all are looking at the possibilities of what could happen. But hey, man, it's not all doom and gloom, because a positive thing to think about is that typically at the end of the 4-year cycle, just like in 2017, when Bitcoin topped and started dropping, during that massive retracement back to the 702, altcoins took off. Things like Ethereum, Dash, and XRP absolutely went ballistic, and a lot of money was made. So that's the exact same thing that's going to happen at this cycle. There's no reason to think that it's different now. It's not different now. This happens every 4 years. At the end of the 4-year cycle, Bitcoin crashes, and during the retrace back to the 702, altcoins go flying. And the returns that we're seeing during alt season was upwards of 1,000%. There is no reason to believe that this time is any different. We're seeing the exact same things play out as we seen during the topping of Bitcoin at the end of 2017. So stay optimistic, man. This isn't a bad situation. This is just a warning so that you all can plan accordingly. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so if you don't feel like this is going to happen, man, do what you want to do. But I just figured that I should come on here, give you all a warning, because I know Bitcoin is a very mainstream and always what people are talking about in cryptos. But at the same time, that is the most vulnerable crypto at this point. I just want you all to plan ahead and look at the possibilities of what could come. This is something, in my opinion, that's 100% inevitable. We're going to see a massive crypto winter. We're going to see dips throughout the entire market, not only with crypto, but with stocks as well. But before that happens, there's going to be a massive amount of greed that gets pushed heavily to make people believe that it won't happen. And make sure that you're positioned accordingly, man. And let's go ahead and eat during this alt season. It's going to be a very great parabolic euphoric time, man. That's it, man. I don't like to keep y'all here too long. If you like the video, if you like the information, if you like the content, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, man. And hit that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a gem. I thank you for tuning in, man. If you want to watch more of my content, do that. Catch up on any videos that you haven't watched yet if you want some more good information. And that's it, man. I'm out.